Welcome to Two Geeks Current Events. This is episode 6 today. Shaw and Jim are stepping into the crosshairs of psychiatry. How psychiatrist or therapist ask a set of questions to get you to open up. Is it better to talk to a support group, friend to solve your problems? Or is it better to pay someone to listen to your problems? As always, we've got some jokes lined up to keep things light. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode.
Welcome back to another episode of Two Geeks Current Events. Okay?
Thank you. Maybe you are.
Yeah, I think I am. I am a geek, but this guy's a geek too. Don't let him fool you. This guy, don't believe anything he says, first of all. I'm Shaw.
I'm Jim.
And this is unscripted, just guy talk, current events, but this month, we're doing something totally radical, different from our usual talk about events and nonsense about society. What we're doing today is basically, we were talking about how it's important to have a friend, a buddy, a circle of friends, a good support system that whenever you have an issue, you can talk to. Yep. And a lot of Americans, they have issues with talking with people, so what they do is they go to a therapist and start talking about their issues, and the therapist just asks a bunch of questions, and those questions are basically nonsense, but it helps the person to get over their issues. So what we're doing today is we both picked 10 questions that a psychiatrist will ask, and we're going to ask each other the same question, and we're going to see what our responses are. So because I respect my elders,
I do too.
I'm going to let him go first and ask the first question. Okay? And okay, keep this in mind. I don't know what questions he's picked or is gonna ask me, and he has no clue of what questions I have picked and I'm gonna ask him, and we're gonna see what the answers are gonna be. And I hope this is informative, helpful, and maybe you could use this in your life and print out 10 questions and just ask your buddy and see. And the more laughs you get, the more you realize that you don't need a damn therapist. You don't need to pay somebody $200 an hour to hear you complain, moan, and bitch, whatever. You could actually take your buddy to lunch or a drink and ask each other a question. And you know what? Problem solved. Maybe not 100%, but you feel a lot better.
Yeah, at least you get it out of your system.
So without further ado, I'm going to let Jim start.
The last time I went to see a therapist was when Vicky and I had a little argument, and so we went to a marriage counselor.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. One time.
And he left.
45 minutes of that hour were spent on his problems and not ours.
You know, the therapist? He was telling his problems?
Yeah.
And you paid him? Oh my God. So he was trying to say that I have these issues is not a big deal.
I don't know. I mean, there was we said what we were having a problem with, and all of a sudden it turned into his problem.
So he needed someone to talk to, and he found you two to talk to.
Yeah.
You should have billed him for two times. Hey, we both helped you. Please pay us.
That's why I don't trust him at all. The only one I ever trusted was a gal that was coming out of school.
Okay.
And I asked her, look, I just want you to listen to me, and if you think I'm going a little bit off the road, bring me back on the road. Otherwise, just keep your mouth shut.
I think that could be a great business opportunity. For example, instead of paying a therapist, I think, men should go to woman of the night and say, hey, I don't want to do anything. I just want to pay you for 1 hour. Just listen to me whine and bitch, and you just tell me what a great guy I am. I think that would help too.
No, that's helpful, but
Right.
like I said, it was better when you can tell somebody what you're feeling, and all of a sudden they say, "Well, do you think that's the right road that you're taking there?" And that's like, well, maybe not.
Yeah.
So it makes you reflect what you're saying. So that's the only thing.
But with that said, do you think that you ever took the wrong road?
Not really.
Okay. So you took the road that benefited you.
I took the road that benefited us.
Yeah. So based on that journey, would you have done it differently?
Probably not,
See?
because at the time it pleased her ideology that we had to go see a therapist. Okay, so we'll have to go see a therapist.
I think aside from people that abuse alcohol, drugs, gambling, prostitution and all that, those roads I could understand. You know, people take those roads for their own little
The
reasons.
benefit, yeah.
But, you know, in the last 55 years of my life, I've asked people, maybe I've asked them in the last 20 years, the journey that you've gone through your life, would you have done it differently? And 99% of the people say, no, I would have done it the same way. The only drawback that I get from people is they'll say, yeah, maybe I should have finished college, or maybe I should have gone get this career, right? Or maybe I shouldn't have bought my house, or maybe I shouldn't have had so many girlfriends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Aside from that, I mean, a
No,
lot of
most
us,
people are satisfied with
you know,
where
you look
they are.
back like, what can I have done to take a different journey? And the only thing I could have done is maybe had a different career change. And that would have propelled me to a different way of life, but I would have never known what I have now.
Yeah, and
Right?
that's the problem.
Right?
If you change anything in your past,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
won't be here.
So it's like, how can the path that I took was laid in front of me. I didn't do anything harmful, but technically I did take the path that I wanted to take.
Yeah.
You know?
And isn't that what we all want?
That's what we all want. That's what
We,
we all
we
want.
want to be able to master our own ship and not wait for some other captain
Yes.
to tell us where to
Yes.
go.
Yes. I think that a lot of people that that got pregnant when they were teenagers, I think they would have said, I would have never tried to get
It's possible,
pregnant,
but
right?
at the same time, you know,
Then they let their
the
kid,
child
like,
is
then the
also
kid
made a
will never
difference,
be
yeah.
there. So, you know, it's really tough.
Yeah.
So would I take in a different road? I mean, I wish I became a stockbroker. I think I have a knack for it. I have a nose for it. But that was not encouraged when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Right? So, but even if I did that, would I have been successful? I don't know. I don't know. You know?
Well, success is built on on your mentality. And
Yeah.
You were always a pusher, so you were always pushing ahead.
I was.
You weren't waiting for somebody to hand you stuff.
Nah, I know.
And that's the problem. Well, a lot of people are just waiting to be handed in life, and it's like, no, you got to go grab it.
Yeah, you gotta grab it. I mean, that goes for anything. You want to be with a woman, you gotta go ask her out.
Yeah,
She could say no, but you never know till you try.
yeah.
You want
Unfortunately, most of the time, men get no's more often than women.
Of course.
And
Okay.
that is a problem that I've had to, we all males have to face.
Yeah.
And women don't understand when we say, no, I don't want to go out with you.
They don't understand.
No.
No. They're like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't like you. Well, one of the things is when a woman says no to you, right? And then later on they're like, hey, how come you don't ask me out again? And you're like, well, I did ask you. You said, well, no, I was just trying to play hard to get. And it's like, oh, well,
I am playing hard to get now.
right? That happened to me in Foundtech. In Foundtech, across our building, there was another computer company. They weren't wholesale, they were retail. And there was a girl working there, and I liked her, and we all went out and we had a drink, and I really liked her. And I asked her out multiple times, and she actually did go out with me, but it's like she wanted me to ask her to be my girlfriend. And I'm like, I'm 22
You're
years
not
old.
there yet.
No, I'm 22 years old. If I'm kissing you, it's already assumed. She's like, no, I want you to say it. I said, I'm too old. I'm not in high school. She goes, okay, this is not going to work out. Let's just be friends. Okay, let's be friends. So I treated her as a friend. Then
She don't like it.
No, she was okay with it. As soon as I was dating this other girl, she started calling me. What are you doing? You want to hang out?
Yeah,
you,
because
and
of
I'm
the challenge now.
I'm like, well, I'm going to my girlfriend's house. Do you want to come? She's like, I don't believe you have a girlfriend. I said, hey, I'm going there now. I'll pick you up on the way if you want. She goes, okay. So she called my bluff kind of deal, but I wasn't bluffing. So I take her to my girlfriend's house. She was freaking out. Now my girlfriend is also freaking out because I'm bringing this tall, beautiful Latina. Like, how is this? I'm like, well, this is the girl I told you about. I liked her, she didn't like me, and anyways, she got drunk that night, and she was like throwing herself, like, oh my God. So we said, okay, we gotta take you home. 5 of us took her home because nobody trusted her. Nobody trusted her. She was ready to go to bed with me and let me do whatever I want to do with her because she was so jealous.
Yeah.
And she was like, shit, I rejected this guy and now he has a girlfriend. What I need to do to get him? But at that point,
I'll tell you one thing is that women tend to flock to a man that has got other women looking out at him.
There was one time a buddy of mine is like, hey, I'm going out. What should I do to impress her? I said, well, impressing a woman is kind of difficult.
Doesn't work.
So I don't know what kind of woman this is. What you say, I don't know, it could be money, it could be your looks, it could be your car, it could be any multitude of things that she likes, but it's hard to pinpoint it.
Yeah.
I said, are you picking her up or are you meeting her somewhere? She goes, no, we're meeting at a bar. I said, perfect. Go early, find a couple of girls there. Say, hey, listen, I'll give you guys $50. When you see this girl coming up to me, walk up to me and say, hey Joe, how you doing? Long time no see. We haven't partied for a while. And I will say to you, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. Yeah, well, it was nice seeing you. You're looking really sharp and nice. And he goes, I said, $50 will do it. So he actually tried it. So the girl came to her drink, and sure enough, these 2 girls were, hey, how are you? What's going on? They hugged him, and the girl, and he's like, oh, this is so-and-so. And she goes, when they left, she was like, who's that? Because, we kind of went out a couple of times, just, but nothing really happened. And we just kind of, they were not my type. And she was like, well, that girl's gorgeous. He goes, yeah, but, she's high maintenance and, not into that. And that was it. That girl was so into him. He's like, because now he's wanted.
She had a challenge, yeah.
He's wanted.
Yeah.
And he had refused those girls. So he's like,
now I want you more.
Yeah.
Temptation.
But that doesn't work for guys.
No.
We feel like, what the fuck? This dude was with you? Nah, I don't think so.
Bye.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
We tend to be more possessive.
Yeah, it won't work for guys. That just doesn't work for guys. But for girls, they get all possessive and jealous and, oh my God, girls are into this
Into
guy.
this guy, yeah.
So it's different dynamics for this. So, what's your first question, Jim? Your psych question to me.
Do you have any concerns regarding your future?
Do I have any concerns regarding my future? My future personally or the whole world?
No, I mean...
At this age, the only concern I have is more medical problems.
Yeah.
Okay? Like things are hurting or things I don't want to pick up. And the cost of fixing your body is going up, right? So that's the only concern that really gets me. I live in Los Angeles, so I have no worries about a war, a coup d'etat, a civil war, because
No, you came from a location that did.
yeah, but those things are
Those
not.
things are long
where
gone.
certain parts of the world, that's a concern. 'Cause
Yeah.
you don't know what 10 years from now will bring. I
Well,
mean,
that's what most Americans don't get.
yes.
Is that we are so far away from everybody else that
Yes.
it's almost. I mean, the only war we really had was with us.
That's right. And that was what, over 100 years ago,
Yeah.
right? And it was in the East Coast, so it doesn't really affect
No,
Los
it didn't
Angeles.
affect California.
So that's the only concern I have. I mean, I already know that Los Angeles or California is moving towards more socialism.
Oh yeah.
So there's nothing I could do about that, because it's hard to convince people that they can't get anything for free.
No, and then I think Margaret Thatcher put it perfectly when she said that socialism works until you run out of other
And
people's
that's the
money.
case, because this is the problem I'm having is I had nothing in the 80s, and now when I have something, now I have to pay more in taxes
Yeah.
for no damn reason, just because I
You're
worked
making more
hard.
money.
I worked hard,
Yeah.
right? And the solution is always to tax us more, but the solution that the government never addresses is that they need to cut on their spending,
Yeah.
cut down on these stupid programs, right?
Well, I mean, it's like when you have a bunch of credit cards and you're maxing them all out. It's time to
No.
rip them up and say no
That's
more.
right, but the government says, "Oh, we're
But government
maxed
doesn't
out.
work that way.
Let's ask for a bigger credit line."
Yeah.
And then they fill that up, and they're like, "Oh,
We need more.
credit line."
Yeah.
But it's never like, okay, where can we cut to get rid of this bill? It's never like that.
No. No, and the government just has gotten its way too long.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
And I think that the Second Amendment is perfect.
Second Amendment is perfect, actually.
Yeah, it protects the First, and on top of that, it protects us from government.
That's right. Okay, so my first question to you: are you uncomfortable discussing anything from past events?
No.
No?
No, I'm the kind of person that wants to look in the mirror and have no regrets of what I've done.
Okay. So you pretty much lived a clean Boy Scout life.
I try to. Basically, I'm not one to hold things in. So if I have a problem with something, I'll say it right there and there. I don't wait till I get home, or I
You don't
wait.
marinate on it.
No, I don't marinate it.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
and that's been a problem sometimes because the wife used to get upset sometimes, and it was like, well, I mean, if you bring it up, you want me to say nothing?
Yeah, well, they always want you to say something. It's like, why are you quiet? Why aren't you complaining?
Yeah,
And you're like, well, it was not a big issue. Well, no, I still want to discuss it.
yeah,
And you're like, what is there to discuss?
yeah. And you've already put it away and
No.
I mean, it's like it's in the trash. We don't need to talk about it.
And I think even though if you discuss it and come to a resolution, 10 years later,
Yeah, she'll bring it back
like,
up.
remember that one time you took like 5 days to discuss it? You're like, yeah, but we solved it. Yeah, but why did you take 5 days?
Yeah,
And how do you answer that question?
you can't. But we don't think the same way women do. That's the biggest problem. And we don't think the same way they do because we create stuff, we fix things, and that's been our motto. And so
Yeah.
they want to bring up something as a problem, and all we want to do is fix it.
Yeah, they do
And
that.
they don't want to fix it;
No.
they just want to talk about it.
Talk with no end in sight. No end in sight. And
No,
they're
and it's perpetual.
and eventually you're like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah.
Right? Like, okay, like you get lost in the melody of all kinds of stuff that's thrown, and eventually you're like, oh, okay, what were we talking about originally?
The first 5 years that I had together with Vicky, we were fighting about every 2 hours. And finally I got to the point where I was so fed up with it. I looked at her and I said, look, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Are you going anywhere?
Yeah.
She says, no. And then, what the hell are we fighting about?
Yeah.
And then she says, huh?
Yeah. Logic.
Yeah.
Logic, yeah.
And it stopped. I couldn't believe it.
Really? Oh my God. Yeah, logic is sometimes hard for women to comprehend.
grab
And
a
also,
hold of.
they don't want a quick solution.
No, they want to talk. They want to.
Yeah, they don't want a quick solution.
No, they want a history, and that's why they like these soap operas.
Yeah,
because it just drags on. It drags on.
And then, like, God forbid you agree with her.
Oh.
They're like, why are you agreeing with me?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you wanted? No, you're agreeing with me for some reason because you don't want to talk about it. And you're like, well, isn't that what the point of this is? You want me to agree with you? And so I am. No, something's wrong with you. Why are you? What are you doing? Are you going somewhere? You're like, okay, so I shouldn't agree with you?
I know.
Right?
Yeah, no, the logic escapes me sometimes. But see, that's the difference. We're logical. They are emotional.
They are emotional.
And that's the problem, is that we want to fix things. We want to get them done and over with.
No.
No, they don't want to get done and over with. They want to drag it out as long as possible.
There is no straight line with emotions. They have to go up and down, and you have to say sorry like 3 times, make dinner, take them out, buy them something, and then hopefully
They'll forget.
they'll forget about it. Okay?
But it doesn't always work, does it?
You know what? I think it's hard to make a woman happy.
I know, it's impossible.
Yeah, but you know, I use hard as a more polite way.
Yeah, I know.
Is because, okay, you could buy her a good ring, give her a good wedding, buy her a car, she doesn't have to work, you buy a house, and still she'll find a reason that she says, you know what, we don't do anything, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
And you're like,
and then why did you cheat? Because I was bored.
Yeah, and then like the guy's like, well, I work fucking 10 hours a day to make sure you don't work and just look pretty, and you're still saying to me we don't do shit, and you're not happy. Like,
well, it's like the old story of the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the guy that says, look, we've got everything, and God says we can have anything we ever wanted. And then she looks at him and gives him the apple and says, are you sure that's enough?
Yeah.
And it's just not enough.
It's not enough.
It never is.
I have a different take on that. So Eve comes to Adam and says, eat this. And Adam says, no. God said we can't eat that. She goes, no, I'm saying eat this. He goes, lady, God said don't eat the apple. And Eve goes, do you want this? And I goes, then eat this.
Well, you know, they say that womb came from woman came from womb, and it came from the first time man saw a woman. Wow.
You know, as much as I don't want to sound very
like, wow, man.
very like,
chauvinist.
No. What's that thing called? Like disrespectful towards Adam and Eve. I mean, technically, they were the first couple to have sex, right? And do you think Adam went porno style on Eve, or was it because remember,
It's the first time, so it's
no. According to the Dead Sea Scrolls, right? That there was Lilith before Eve, right? And Lilith, because she wanted to dominate being on top, Adam didn't like that. So she was casted out and became, a demonic spirit kind of thing, right? So Adam was not a virgin. And so Eve was made because Eve was more submissive and softer. So I wonder if his experience with Lilith transformed to him being the aggressor.
It's possible.
I mean, this is just a discussion, right?
Well, I mean, it's.
I don't want to sound disrespectful to
No, I
her.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, you can. The whole Bible story is interesting because it's a pattern of people doing wrong things and right things.
Yeah.
It's not up to you to decide what's wrong and what's right. It's up to God to decide what's wrong and what's
for you
right.
to take.
The problem is that you are going to accept it.
Well, then also for you to take the story and maybe implement it in your life.
Yeah.
Right? Do you want the woman on top or do you want to be on top?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? After watching so many pornos, I want to try every position.
You look at the Kama Sutra and you go, how the hell did they do that?
Well, the Kama Sutra, the one that really puzzles me, and you guys can look this up. I mean, I don't think I can do it, but it's called the Running Man. Okay? Now, I don't want to describe it. You have to look it up, Google it, called Kama Sutra, the Running Man. And let me know if any of you guys have tried it, because it's like, how, okay, like at what point on the stage of your lovemaking say, you know what, I don't want to do missionary, I don't want to doggy, I don't want you to be on top, no cowgirl, no reverse cow, whatever, let's do the Running Man. And she's like, what the hell's the Running Man? And you're like, okay, this is how it's done. And she's like, oh shit, this is kind of cool. Now remember, the Running Man, you gotta run while doing it. So I don't know how it's possible, but I think it's doable because it's part of the Kama Sutra. And remember, the Running Man is level 4 Kama Sutra. And for you people out there that are not even level 1, level 2, level 3, I'm telling you, it's hard to get to level 4. I'm at the borderline of level 3 and level 4. Once I do the Running Man, then I'm level 4. And that's the maximum level.
Well, I'm 5 now.
Okay, my next question. How important is work-life balance to your sense of overall job satisfaction?
Job balance.
Work-life balance.
I don't know. I mean, it's basically just come and goes, and I never liked the fact that I was getting paid a check at the end of the week.
Yeah.
It was like I didn't have control over it, and it kind of bugged me. So, and not only that, having somebody tell me what and when and how didn't match my personality. So that's how I went on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been on my own since I was a kid because I was rebuilding bikes I found in the garbage and then selling them.
So you had a mentality of
and that's the difference between me and most people is that it's in here. That's the money issue. I mean, it's all between your ears.
Yeah.
Because if you're satisfied with working, 80 hours a week and getting a paycheck,
you're still trading time for money. I mean,
and
you're out.
It's a lot of people are satisfied with it because they know they're going to get a check at the end of the week.
Yeah. They don't have to worry about where the money's coming from. As long as I put in my hours, I'm getting my pay.
And then I looked at my father-in-law, who used to work for NASA in Rockwell, and they would have a project, and all of a sudden the project would be ending, and then he'd be without a job for a month or two. Until they got another project. And it was like, okay, but no paycheck.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. So I'd rather have a no paycheck while I'm striving for another paycheck.
Yeah.
I think you're the same way because
I never liked the idea of paycheck, but if I do go back to a paycheck style work, it better be worth my while. Yeah. Because I don't want to sit somewhere.
But see, the problem is you've already set when you're working.
Yeah.
And that's not what people out there are willing to pay for your work.
So that's why it's hard for me to find a job. Yeah. Because sitting somewhere for like 8 hours a day, knowing the fact that in that 8 hours I could make it in 2 or 3 hours, and then I have the rest of the day to myself.
Yeah.
I think in my opinion, there's no such thing as work-life balance. I think you go to work, and when you go home, don't think of work. Because if you bring work home, you kind of mess up your own relationship and your own self because you're constantly stressed, right?
Yeah.
And we live in a world where if you work for somebody, and majority of us do,
it's stressful.
it's constant deadline, emails, phone calls, projects to me. And at the end of the day, if you really realize, what is it all for? Right? What are we stressing ourselves for with all these things? But we have created this rat race, and this is why we're all sick, tired. I mean, look at all these 5-hour energy drinks, because nobody has energy anymore. We have to take these artificial sweeteners and caffeine just to give us pumped up so we could continue doing the job. And when you're at that level, when you have to take energy drinks, you have no work-life balance. There's no balance in your life. You're actually
you're pushing yourself.
Yeah.
And you're basically it's like running on a bald tire. Eventually it's gonna pop.
Yeah. Okay, what's your next question?
Do you have any particular daily practices that promote your mental and physical well-being?
Yes. So one of the things I do porn must at least 30 minutes a day to get me started. But I do enjoy going to the gym 3 times a week. I do enjoy riding my street bike in the beach. A lot of times here at work, I'll just walk to the post office, walk to the bank, walk to UPS. It's a few blocks, and I make a 2-mile round trip. And then once a month, what I do is I go to the Korean spa. And there's one in Torrance, and for $25, you could spend 4 or 5 hours at the Korean spa. They have, sauna, steam room, hot room, jacuzzi, cold plunge, showers.
Wow.
And then you go upstairs, and they got the salt room, the Arctic room, the quiet room, and then you could take a nap at the common area, and even have a restaurant there. So I spend a good 4 or 5 hours there. I normally do it on a Friday, so the whole weekend I'm relaxed. And honestly, when I come out of there for $25, I look younger, I feel younger.
You feel younger.
I love the steam room, and all that stuff has, you could see in my face, it's so bright. And that's one of the things that I like to do. I'm not a drinker, and I don't smoke, and I rarely eat any kind of junk food. Except when he's treating, he only treats me junk food. But when I treat, I gotta treat him good food, like kebab. He treats me like junk food. But that's my elders. What am I gonna complain?
How do you think I got to this point?
So that's basically, you have to take time, especially men. You have to take time for yourself. I mean, listen to nothing. Do nothing, relax somewhere just by yourself. And at the Korean spa, I'm there by myself. I drink plenty of water. I take a nap. It's just me. I don't even take my cell phone. I take a book and I'll read for an hour. And it really recharges myself. My stress level goes down. And that's very important to me. So that's what I do.
Well, I'm a little bit different because I grew up by myself. No brothers or sisters. And we moved, sometimes twice a year. Basically, I only went to 12 years of school. I mean, basically, I quit my 10th year. But I'd been to 17 schools by then. In 2 countries. So being by myself, I learned not to depend on anybody. Or anything except my TV. It became my best buddy.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things to watch.
Yeah, no, and I got stuck on things like the Learning Channel. There's things that would feed my brain. I've also like sci-fi.
You know, there's a show on Apple TV. It's called Neighbors and Friends, okay? And John Hamm is the star in it. And he's a very successful guy. And at some point, he loses his job. So he's like, how can I make some money, right? And the neighborhood he lives in, it's a high-end neighborhood with very high income. So what he does is he breaks into his neighbors' houses and steal things that they cannot notice that it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
So for example, he goes to a house, the guy has like 200 watches and each watch is worth $200,000. Well, he takes one, you know? And it's an interesting show because it shows that at some point when you get tired of your life or you get tired of the nonsense the corporate world throws at you or even a small business throws at you, they say, you know what, I've done all the right things up to this point.
Yeah.
I got fired, so now I'm gonna do things that I was not doing in my past. It's an I like the show. It's its second season. You may want to check it out.
Well, I think too is that it's difficult to live in life without having a outlet somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what it is. And the problem is that most people find that it's some kind of a dependency, either drugs, women, food. They find something to get hooked on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem with society today is that we have no outlets. And the only outlets that we have are illegal, and therefore we end up gravitating towards them.
Well, there is a lot of outlets, but a lot of the problem comes for these men. Like in this show, the guy's wife is sleeping with a neighbor, so he's pissed off in that sense too, right? And imagine this guy is wealthy, has a $5 million home, excellent car. The wife doesn't work, and guess what she does?
She goes somewhere else.
She fucks the neighbor.
Yeah.
And he finds out. And guess what she says? It's not what it looks like. What the fuck does it look like? I don't love him. I just fuck him.
Yeah.
Okay? So he gets a divorce at the same time, which is like, and then he is fucking another wife. That's a neighbor. So eventually in this neighborhood, everyone is fucking each other.
Oh, typical American today.
Okay. Okay. Would you like to go back and revisit any past experiences?
Wow. No.
None?
None.
Okay. Not even when you broke your virginity?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Why not? Was it bad?
No, it was just.
He was too big for you?
No, I just don't have any particular spot in my life that I say that brings any real need.
Okay. All right.
I mean, about the only time, like I say, is maybe when I met Vicky.
Okay. That moment.
That moment.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, that first week that we met was the most interesting week of my life.
Okay. That's good. That's good. For me, I would like to visit the point when my dad made a decision to buy a business. I want to visit that moment the day before and stop him.
Really?
Yeah, because he went bankrupt after that.
Mm.
So like, I didn't know anything about business.
But see, if you had changed that, you wouldn't be here either.
Probably. But if I had to, I mean, looking back, right?
Mm.
I would like to visit that moment because he was very excited. Like there was nobody in the world that said no to him, right?
Yeah.
And even my mom encouraged him, and he told me I'm buying this, and I was like,
why?
21 years old, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of good. Like I didn't know what business was all about, but he was so excited to buy it, and so I would have stopped him. So that's something I would like to revisit. But you're right. If I would have stopped him, then things would have changed in the house,
Yeah.
and then they would have.
That's the problem, is that it's that old butterfly effect. If you kill that butterfly, you could change the rest of the life in the world.
That's right. That's right.
Because you don't know if that butterfly actually maybe pollinated some plant that needed pollinating
That's
that
right.
never got pollinated
That's right.
before.
And a bee had to eat it, made
Yeah.
honey. That honey was fed to somebody that
Yeah.
gave life, and so on and so forth.
Well, it's the same thing with jobs in the United States. Everybody keeps talking about jobs, 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 and when they fire 1,000 people, they're actually firing 8,000
Mm-hmm.
because it takes 8 people for every job.
Mm-hmm.
You need barbers, you need grocery stores, you
Yeah.
need gasoline for your
Someone
car.
to stock,
Yeah,
someone to deliver, someone to pack,
yeah,
right? Someone to deposit the money.
yeah.
Right,
I
there's
mean,
a lot of
it's like
things.
you basically push the dominoes, and there's a lot of dominoes that fall because you bought that one loaf of bread.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only thing about life that is inherently hard to manage.
It is. It is. Yeah, it is. Okay, so my next question is, aside from your religious beliefs, have you had anyone that was very influential in your life?
That's tough. I'd say there were 2 people in my life, and both of them were my aunts.
Okay, they were influential.
Yeah.
They mentored you.
One of them took care of me physically because I had some medical issues,
Okay.
and the other one was always there when I needed her.
Okay.
So basically, they were like stops.
They
So-
give you advice.
Yeah, they gave me advice, or I don't know, they managed me somehow so that I kept going.
But do you think that the reason they were able to manage you is because you had great respect for them?
Oh, I'm sure that helps. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
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 No, I mean, respect is earned. I'm the kind of person that'll start off giving you 100%
Yeah,
and accepting you 100%.
yeah,
And I figure that you will chop yourself down to your level.
yeah.
What exactly
by
are you
yourself.
asking me to do?
Alexa, shut up.
She's listening.
Yeah. For me, it's different because we came here as refugees, so I didn't have the aunt and uncle support that most people did. So, but as I grew older, I found influence in coworkers, bosses that kind of I looked up to, and I was open to information and advice,
Yeah.
and I took portions of things from different people.
Yeah, well,
Now,
especially Elton.
Elton was a big one. Elton Chai. I mean, I never saw the guy get mad, and to him, money was an instrument to make more money. Smart guy, but there was a lot of things that he actually also, because of his age, kind of didn't see where the internet was going, right? So we made mistakes there at Foundtech, but he was pretty influential, and I learned a lot of business sense from him. And was he fair? For Chinese person, he was pretty fair because eventually he accepted me as a Chinese person. And then when a Chinese person does that,
Yeah,
you're
you're
part of
moved
the
up.
circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of influential to me.
Yeah.
And but there's a lot of characteristics that I learned from him that I implement in my daily life. Is
Yeah.
it good or bad? I don't know, but it works for me.
Yeah. I was brought up with you gotta go to school, you gotta get a diploma, you gotta get a degree, you gotta do this in order to succeed. And I kept thinking, no, And especially because I just couldn't get books in my head.
Yeah.
I would read and I would read and I would read, and it just didn't sink in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so everybody kept going, "Oh, you're going to be a doctor like your dad?" And I kept saying, "Well, I'm going to try." And then I started. I went my first year of pre-med.
Yeah.
I did okay in the classes, but
it wasn't for you.
No, I finally decided one day on my way home, I looked up in the sky and I said, "No, I'm going in the business."
What if someone told you that you could be a gynecologist? No?
No, not interested.
Not interested, huh?
No, besides growing up in medical, you get to see all this shit anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially when your dad's so close to the other doctors.
Yeah.
So you're surrounded by all these different people. And then I was a wild child, and my dad at one time was the second head of the hospital. So he was like the vice president.
Okay.
So I had basically an open book in the whole hospital.
Yeah.
I learned how to do phones.
Yeah.
Because I'd go over where the phone system was, and the girls would love me because I would take over their jobs.
Yeah.
I went down to pathology and learned how to make slides and how to stain slides.
Wow.
So I learned a lot of stuff that way. And I mean, I was so wild that at the age of 7, I took my dad's little car and I drove it out all over the place. He'd come over and he'd say, "Well, I'll be back in an hour." Yeah. 3 hours later, I'd still be sitting there. And so I decided, no more. You go do your thing, I'm going to go do mine.
Okay, my next question. Are you at ease with your vulnerability?
What vulnerability? I mean, the only vulnerability I have is the one that I choose to give other people. So I'd say no.
No, okay. For me, I am vulnerable in certain sense because just like what you said earlier, I try to find the goodness in people. And unfortunately, when you try to find the goodness in people, a lot of times that backfires. And they think that you're easy to take advantage of, or ask money from, or pick me up, take me here.
See, that's why I said I start off with 100%. They will chop themselves down to 10.
So I try to find the goodness of people until you prove me wrong. And then at that time, you don't see me anymore. And you'll be like, "Whatever happened to Shaw?" And it's not that I don't want to see you, it's just I just extricate myself because, look, I've tried to find the goodness in you, but there's so much bad that I don't want to be around.
No, and because it tends to stick to you.
Yes, and I think people find kindness as a weakness sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate because we should all be kind to each other. We should all be nice to each other. That doesn't mean you're weak. That means you just want to have a nice relationship with people, friendly relationship with people, and try to understand each other.
Yeah.
But some people find kindness as a weakness. And guess what?
They take advantage of that weakness.
I'm kind and I find the goodness in you. And if you fail me, bye-bye. I will never, ever see you again. I could see you in here and there, but I'm not going to make an effort to invite you or stuff like that.
No,
okay, what's your question?
I was never one to be how can I put it? My son needs people around him all the time.
Ben?
Yeah. I never did. And I think that made me stronger in a lot of ways.
I think for me is I like friends, but I like sometimes time for myself, but I'm social enough to make the effort to, like we have lunch, right? We both make the effort, right? Mm-hmm. Now, that's because, we want to talk, we want to see each other, and time is short, but the time what we give to each other is friendly and informative, and sometimes, we go at it, but we kind of respect ourselves that that's our personality, right?
Yeah.
And we don't see each other every day, once a week, once a month, or twice a month sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's it, and that's good enough. And we do talk on the
we
phone.
do talk on the phone.
We do talk on the phone.
I got a problem. I gotta ask Shaw.
Yeah. We do talk on the phone.
Yeah.
We do make wisecracks. In fact, yesterday we were talking about in the pageant, the beauty pageant, how they're asking the wrong question. Like, why would you ask a beauty pageant what they think of climate change? Or what they think of world peace?
Yeah.
You know what? You're pretty. We don't care what you think of this. The question that they should ask is, if you become a wife, would you be a submissive wife?
Those are fighting words.
I mean, it's a valid question. It's a valid question.
It's like the woman that set up a sign outside a Christian church, and he says, "Would you obey your husband?"
Yes, that's another good question. If you, as a beauty pageant, Miss America or Miss Universe, get married, would you? What was the question?
Obey your husband.
Obey your husband.
The problem is that they would do it. They would submit as long as they didn't have to obey.
Okay, Jim. Let me ask you this: you being a Christian, right? As I could recall, in the old movies, when people got married, they said love, honor, and obey.
Yeah.
Right? Remember those people?
Yeah.
Tell me if I'm wrong. In the old movies, there was always love, honor, obey till death do you part.
Yeah.
And like the last 20 years or 25 years, it's changed to love, honor, and cherish. Where the fuck? Cherish what? You're supposed to love, honor, and obey. Okay, because technically, as you know, a man takes a woman for a wife to his house, right? Now imagine you have a disobedient wife. What do you think is going to happen with that relationship?
That ain't going to last.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's not a matter of obedience. It's a matter of you submissive to your husband because he is supposedly the leader of the house.
Right, make the decision.
Yeah.
Right.
And I have to admit, I was blessed with Vicky because there were 3 times that we moved from one city to another. And she could have stayed behind because she had a really good jobs there. I mean, she could have told me to go suck an egg.
Yeah. So back to our question, if I had to go back and revisit a past thing, I think I'll change the wording that cherish will never be in the...
No.
It should be love, honor, and obey.
Yeah.
And that goes for men too. Men need to also somehow obey their wives. Meaning, if she says, hey asshole, don't go drinking, well guess what? Don't go fucking drinking.
Yeah.
Right? Or hey, don't go, you hang around too much with your buddies, you need to give me some time too. Guess what? That's correct.
Yeah.
And you need those
need the
boundaries and balance.
Yeah.
Because, like we have this thing called girls' night out. What the hell does that mean, girls' night out? Just a bunch of women just get together and have dinner.
there.
But they go out, get drunk and talk to other men.
Yeah.
That's not girls' night out. That means you want to go be a slut.
Yeah.
Imagine if...
But see, this is the difference between how we look at women and how women look at us. We are possessive because we are... we want to protect.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're possessive.
Yeah.
And we don't want other guys. Yeah, you may look at my wife, you may want my wife, but you ain't getting my wife.
That's right.
But the only way I can make sure that happens is if my wife is in on it.
That's right. That's right. But like guys' night out involves poker and cigars and beer or a game. Right?
Yeah.
Men do not get together and go to a club and talk to girls. We're more like, let's hang out and play some cards.
Yeah.
And we go to someone's house and just kick back and play poker. Where girls' night out is they actually go and get slutty.
I mean, the worst thing that a bunch of guys will do is they'll go to a strip bar. But all they do is just sit there and watch and maybe give $1 or $2 away.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I never liked strip bars because I don't
never
find
did either.
I don't see the fascination when a girl's
It's a
rubbing themselves.
temptation.
Plus, like, my thing is like, okay, so you rubbed yourself on me. Now what?
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to do with that? Right?
Yeah, I mean...
Right? What am I supposed to do? I can't touch you.
No, but you get a hard on.
Yeah, but...
Hey, let's talk about Stiffy down here.
Yeah, like, you know what? Now I got a hard on, and for what? It's like, I don't see a purpose. Okay,
No.
why don't I just go home and pay the woman in the house, like, hey, look, why don't you dance in front of me? I just throw money at you. And then at least I know I'm getting laid. But
Yeah.
strip clubs, it was never for me. I never liked it.
No, I never liked clubs either.
And you know, I've been to them, but it was never for me.
No, we went to, one of my friends was getting married, and so we went to Tijuana.
Hong Kong? Because, you know, that's the greatest
We
place.
were just walking around and then we poked my head into one of these bars, and it was like a 300-pound woman stripped and naked in the and somebody says, "Oh my God!" and everybody had to look.
No, my God. No. That's a scene that I don't want to see.
No.
No, I would lose my appetite for a few days.
Yeah.
Okay, Jim, last question. Last question.
What would you say describes the primary thoughts that cross your head every day?
Naughtiness.
Maybe a guy that does it.
Okay, let me explain.
No,
Okay.
you don't have to explain. That's
Since-
95% of our time is spent thinking about
No,
women.
yeah. But let me explain. Since I turned 50, the naughtiness level has gone up for some reason. It's like I went from perversion level 1 to perversion level 5. And okay, I can't explain it. And in fact, I've talked to people that have been turned 50 and so on, and they all say the same thing, that men, as soon as they turn 50, for some reason their perversion level goes up. And that's why,
What do you mean by perversion?
meaning like you have more dirty thoughts about women. Like a girl can walk by and in your mind you're stripping her, you're touching her, you're kissing her, you're grabbing her. Is the perversion level, meaning I wouldn't call it perversion, I'm using that as like the
Yeah.
naughtiness level, right? So that's why men in their 50s have affairs. They buy exotic cars, they go to exotic trips.
Yeah, the midlife crisis.
Yeah,
deal.
midlife crisis start because they're at the point of their life that they're like, have money, and they're like, I'm not young anymore, maybe I need to get it out of my system.
Yeah.
And this is where I think, in my opinion, polygamy should be allowed. Because listen, polygamy should be allowed. The reason why is, let's say you're married for 20 years, 30 years, right? And you're both 50. Well, guess what? She's tired all the time. So now at 50, you say, hey, honey, I would like to get a second wife because you're always tired. And she agrees. So you get a second wife that's, let's say, 35 years old, maybe 40 years old. Well, you got a good 10 years of her taking care of you. Because by the time she becomes 50, she's tired.
Yeah.
This is why I agree with polygamy, because...
These are the wild thoughts of men.
Yes. Polygamy, that's why the Mormons still do it in America. I think the Amish do polygamy too.
And then there's the pansexual deal.
I don't care about that. Muslims do it around the world, not in America, because it's supposedly illegal here, unless you're doing it on a hush-hush.
Or unless you're doing it in Utah.
But, you know, like if Mormons come to me, the first thing I ask is, how many wives can I have?
Yeah.
Right?
No, that's quite... And around the world, there is a lot of polygamy going around.
Yeah. Well, there's two reasons behind it. First reason is there's more women than men in the world. So basically, like any of you guys, go check out the dating apps.
Yeah.
There's so many women that are divorced looking for men.
Yeah.
Okay? So now, let's say 1 million women are divorced and 500,000 men are divorced. Well, now either the guy has to have 2 of these women in circulation,
Yeah.
or there should be, say, hey, listen, I don't mind having 2 wives, and you don't need to fool around with many men, you just fool around with me in one house. I mean, there is positives and negatives. The negative part is now you got 2 dramas,
Yeah.
2 nagging wives, okay, 2 expenses. You gotta start ordering Viagra because you gotta now satisfy 2 women, right? So now there's the cons and the positive.
Yeah.
And God forbid they get into a fight, now they're fighting with you. So now you got to defend yourself against
And
2
then
of them.
don't let them ask you which one you are siding with.
Oh, no. And then, God forbid if their menstrual cycles are in sync with each other. Now you got PMS on your ass. And so, there's negative side of it, but there's also positive side. I like to think of the positive side.
Of course you would.
Like most guys were dumb. Like, oh, it's positive. And then we get into it like, oh, why did I do this? Why the fuck did I do this to myself?
Exactly.
Right?
That's why it never crossed my mind.
Right? Anyways, on that note, we're going to call it quits. We didn't get to all the questions for the psychiatrist questions, but I hope you enjoyed this episode. And please give us a like, a subscribe, give us a comment on anything you want us to talk about. Again, this is Jim, and I'm Shaw. See you
Bye.
guys next time.